All right, guys, moving on to lesson 2, the relationship of multiplication and division. So today, on page S4 of your workbook, you'll find lesson 2, relationship of multiplication and division. Today, I will build and clarify the relationship of multiplication and division by evaluating identities such as A divided by B times B equals A, and A times B divided by B equals A. Two things. This little dot, yes, ladies and gentlemen, is another sign for multiplication. Okay, one reason why we use that dot, because we are working with letters now. The X's that you're used to, X's will get confusing because sometimes we use X as a letter. So instead of the X, we are going to use multiplication, the dot. Now another thing. This may look kind of familiar to you if you remember from lesson 1. Lesson 1 we were talking about addition and subtraction. Now we're talking about multiplication and division, and it's the same concept. So A divided by B times B equals A. So you divide and multiply and you will get the same result, the same number that you started off with. Okay? So let's move on. On page S4, you will see your opening exercise. So draw a pictorial representation of the division and multiplication problems using a tape diagram. Once again, with our tape diagram. So here we have 8 boxes, and we're told to show 8 divided by 2. The way we're going to show this, we're going to divide these 8 boxes into 2 segments. And splitting that up would mean 4 boxes. Okay, divided by 4. And another 4. So this is one way to represent 8 divided by 2. Another way to represent 8 divided by 2. So you have your 8 boxes, and you're going to multiply them by 2 boxes at a time. Here. 2 boxes at a time, and you will have 4 different segments. Okay? Pause this video to copy. Moving on, draw a pictorial representation of the division and multiplication problems using a tape diagram. Once again, this is still your opening exercise on page S4. B equals 3 times 2. So here we have your 3 boxes. Okay? Now we want to multiply that by 2. There's another 3 boxes. So that shows you 3 times 2, and that gives you 6 boxes. Okay, pretty simple. Pause this video to copy. So just a quick discussion. This is one that you don't have to copy. You can just listen or take down notes. Okay, you had your notes that you took earlier from lesson 1. You can continue this. So let's say we build a tape diagram to represent 9 units. Here's our 9 units. Now, it's asking us to divide the 9 units into 3 equal groups. 1, 2, 3. So we have divided our 9 units here into 3 equal groups. Write an expression to represent the process you modeled with the tape diagram. Okay, think about it. That's just 9 divided by 3. Evaluate the expression. So now that means we should answer it. And that's 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Use your squares to demonstrate what it would look like to multiply 3 times 3. So here we have 3 boxes, another 3, and another 3. So we alter our original expression, that original one was the one that told us 9 divided by 3, to create an expression that represents what we did with the tape diagram. Now we have that 9 that was divided into 3 times 3, right? So we divided them earlier, and now we're bringing them back together again. We evaluate this expression. What do we have left, ladies and gentlemen? Right, we are back to 9 again. Now we're going to write an equation using variables to represent the identities we demonstrated with a tape diagram. So draw a series of tape diagrams to demonstrate this equation. Okay, and we started off with A. Okay, we started off with A. Earlier we started with 9. Now we're just going to call it A because it can be any size. We're going to divide it by B. Okay, so one section here is B. Right, and we're going to divide all those boxes by B. Now let's say we're going to multiply it by B. And we're going to evaluate the sentence. So A divided by B times B. When you evaluate that, or you solve it, okay, this is what it looks like again. So we're back to the same box that we started off with earlier. So A divided by B times B equals A. So both A's represent the same number and the same rule applies to the B's. So we have the same number for the B's as well. Pretty simple concept, ladies and gentlemen. So your next steps. Exploratory challenge. Work in pairs or even in small groups to determine equations to show the relationship between multiplication and division. Use tape diagrams to provide support for your findings. So you don't have to write any number in those tape diagrams, okay? It's not like our tape diagrams and when we were doing ratios where you needed to find equivalent ratios. This time there's nothing in your tape diagrams. So when you're done, feel ready to get an exit ticket. Your homework is to do the problem set. Conversation level is 1. Write your name on the board if you need help. You're working on exploratory challenge of lesson 2. You can go get water and go to the bathroom with permission, please. All else you do on your own. I can tell you are participating because you are determining equations with your partner or group or even by yourself. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you in lesson 3. See ya.